Flo with Behind the Gloves. I'm joined now with Michael the Bounty Hunter. He is 20-1 with 14 knockouts. Michael, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. The last we heard of you, you were originally scheduled to fight Fury, July 2022. Obviously that fell through, and then it was rescheduled for October, which, as we know now, it fell through again. Are you interested in rescheduling that fight, or are you just ready to move on?
Nah, I'm ready to move on. I think Sky Sports is ready to move on. They kind of he was kind of like pulling their tail for about a year. So I think everybody is kind of ready to move on from the Huey Fury situation.
Yeah, I can
Maybe we
imagine.
can get Tyson Fury.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen, there's been talks about you facing other opponents. I mean, I've seen your name associated with Dillian Watt, Philip Hergovich, Joseph Parker, Robert Helenius, Daniel Dubois, I think is the last one I heard. Any of those names stand out to you?
Yeah. Philip Hergovich will be a good fight. Daniel Dubois, I've been getting offers. Martin Bacoli, Joe Joyce, Joseph Parker. These are all good fights for me. They're all reachable fights. These fights should and can be made. So I would like to fight them all if I can. Yeah. Let's hope we can just get in a position where they'll all be calling my name and I can knock them all down.
Absolutely. And I mean, one thing that I've heard some boxing industry insiders consider you somewhat of a boogeyman. Do you agree with that assessment?
Uh, I mean, I guess yeah. They call Joe Joyce the boogeyman, but I think I give the boogeyman bad dreams. So I don't know if you want to call me the boogeyman, but I'm definitely avoided.
Yeah, and I mean, it feels like there's been so many fights that have been, they've almost happened. You've almost got to the ring with them. Contracts have been almost signed, and it just stops there at almost, and they don't happen. Do you feel like there's a reason behind that? Do you think it's, they're nervous to fight you? Like, what do you think is going on?
Yeah. I think it has a lot to do with the pedigree and my position. They know my pedigree is grade A, and my positioning is not quite so. So they use that for an advantage. But eventually, they're gonna have to fight. A lot of these guys are getting beat, and you're seeing their downfalls right now. So, and I'm still here. I'm moving. The only way they get me out of there is really inactivity. And but we're on the way to getting something, locking something in real soon. Hopefully Joseph Parker. He's been calling my name, and so we're working on that one.
Oh, nice. And would it be in London or would it be in the US? Where would that fight take place?
Most likely it would be in England somewhere, maybe Manchester or maybe in the London O2 or something. But definitely the fight will be should be made. We're getting closer on making a decision. Closing out some things, and we'll see where it goes. Like you said, it always you never get the deal until somebody actually enters the ring with you. So
Is there a specific time frame you'd like to get back in the ring? Maybe a certain month that you're eyeing?
uh, I would like to have got back in yesterday, but fortunately, that hasn't happened right now. But yeah, I would like to. I'm trying to fight as soon as possible. I'm staying in shape. I'm already in fight shape. Obviously, there'll be need. I need like 2 or 3 weeks to peak, but I'm already maintaining. I know that's bad news for my opponents. So you know,
Yeah, absolutely. So there's been news with Wilder. He's in the WBC title eliminator with Andy Ruiz. That's something that I guess they're working through. They're trying to get scheduled. But there's also been another name that's kind of come into the mix with them. Wilder potentially going another route facing Francis Ngannou from the UFC, which is totally out of left field in my opinion. But should he go that route, which it seems like a lot of people are interested in that route, Would you consider getting in the ring with Andy Ruiz again? And for anyone who's listening that doesn't know, you actually beat Andy Ruiz and Tyson Fury in the amateurs. Is that something that you would consider doing? Should he go that route?
Yeah, Deontay Wilder. I think you know, the thing is about throwing an event and having a show. Um, I think that to solidify himself as the great, fighting Francis Ngannou is not really a good idea. But if they want to get a bag and get some money, Francis Ngannou is a guy that will definitely pull some numbers. He just got out of his UFC contract, so I know he's looking for some type of opportunity. So if the fight could be made, I mean, I think it would be good. As far as Andy Ruiz, yeah, I would love to fight Andy Ruiz on any day. Those are that's again another fight that's right in my range and right in my reach. If PBC called me and asked me, if I wanted to fight, I would take that fight in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
Short notice.
absolutely. There's another fight, probably a really big heavyweight fight is Fury versus Usyk. We know that they're in talks. Hopefully we get a contract soon. We get a fight announcement soon. I think everyone wants to see how that goes. Now you've shared the ring with both of these men. How do you see that fight going?
I think that I tell people I think it's going to be a draw. I think it'll be a close decision. It'll be a hard one to pick, and because of Tyson Fury's stature, he's originally going to look the most dominant. So I think that, and then in the later rounds, I feel like with the movement, Tyson Fury, Usyk will, probably get some of the later rounds, and even the way his fighting style is, he kind of um, you know, he waits until the later rounds to get really competitive. So I think that it will be like Tyson Fury winning the beginning half and Fury, Usyk winning the later half. So I think it will be a close decision or a split decision draw.
I feel like with at least compared to these other heavyweights, you've kind of had to take the longer journey just to get where you're at. I feel like you've not had the same support behind you that maybe some of these other heavyweights have. Not that it's warranted. I mean, not that you deserve, to have to take the longer route. But why do you feel like that's kind of had to been your path?
I think it's just because of my pedigree, the way I started off in the amateurs. I was basically undefeated as an amateur in the United States. I won everything, and I had competed. Only thing I didn't win was the Olympics, and so I think that that just was my struggle. My dad was in a similar situation. Um, that nobody would fight him, and I think that they know of my dad and my pedigree and me, and I just think that's how the story goes. And I'm like one of those. I'm one of those real fighters, that they make the movies about. So there's entertainers and there's fighters. So I'm an authentic fighter, and um, I know that a lot of authentic fighters have this situation if they don't get ahead early. So that was my thing. I didn't really, get the support behind me right away, and I've been kind of trailing behind ever since when it comes to the support.
You mentioned the Olympics. Paris 2024 is coming up. There's talks that we won't have boxing in the Olympics in 2028. That's been big, but there's also been talks it's possibly going to be cut from 2024 as well. What do you make of that?
I know. I remember last time when they cut the wrestling out. That was a shocker to me when they did that.
Yeah.
Because wrestling was such a dominant sport in the Olympics. It's like it's always been there. It's always been a part of the Olympics. So for them to do that, it's the same as boxing. Boxing is, you know, from the start has probably been in the Olympics and been an Olympic sport, and it's kind of it would be a sucky thing to have a dream of going to the Olympics and not showing up around the time you're supposed to be going. So, kind of sucks, but hopefully they fix it.
Now, what year were you on the Olympic team? Was it 2012?
Yes, I was representative for 2008 and 2012 Olympics.
Okay, very, very nice. So then you must know Delilah then from
So
California.
absolutely,
Yeah,
Mama
that's my
D.
girl. Yeah,
Mama D. Shout out to Mama D.
yes, yes, she's wonderful.
Yes,
And
she
I work
is.
with her at USA Boxing, so I don't know if you know that about me, but
Oh
I
yeah.
I work the national tournaments and everything. Um,
Okay.
I started like way after, you'd probably already turned pro by the time I did that, but
All right.
yeah, just watching like how much they sacrifice even at the amateur level. I don't think people realize that even at the amateur level, so much sacrifice goes into that to make that Olympic team. And it
Yeah.
is kind of sad that, they could have it just taken away from them for something that's really not even their fault.
Right. Right. Yeah. The family sacrifice. It becomes a family thing very fast. Because there's not a lot of there's no money involved. So you have the support. I mean, you have the support of your family and friends, and that's pretty much it. And your dream. So it would kind of suck for that to happen. That's like almost reminds me of something like a track disappearing in the Olympics. It's like a main sport, so it would just suck. They should put another sport out or something.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm gonna switch gears here a little bit. Are you still like in the gym right now? Are you still training?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We just got done with our workout. We'll be working out here in the next maybe 4 hours or something, 5 hours. We've just been resting up. Doing some recovery right now for until the next workout. But yeah, we're constantly working. This is my lifestyle of mine, so this is something I do. That doesn't need much thinking. I don't really have to. I already have it set up and stuff like that where I'm good to go. So yeah, this is my lifestyle, and I eat clean. I work out. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready for these fights. I know these fights will be uh, could easily be made um, if these fighters will just uh, grab a little heart, and step in the ring with me.
Yeah, and let's say, this fight with Joseph Parker gets signed. What will happen in that ring according like to your prediction? How will that fight go?
I know that Joseph Parker is a very strong and experienced fighter. He's fought at the top levels. He's fought in those big stages, and that gives you a lot of experience. So, and I also have a lot of experiences from my amateur background, and me being in the pros for so long now. So I think it would be an interesting fight. I think that there will be some things that will be new for me when I step in there. But I think that that's why I want to compete with Joseph Parker because I know that he has a high IQ when it comes to being in the ring. He's not the biggest guy either. He's had to fight a lot of big guys. He moves. He's a little bit of a little bit of both. Like myself, a boxer puncher is what I would consider him. So that makes for an interesting fight. I think I would definitely it would be a probably something some it would get very exciting in the late rounds. Either I stop him or it becomes a unanimous decision, win by me.
Yeah, do you feel like we're gonna see you in a world title fight here pretty soon?
Yes, yes, man. If I think that I have to compete against these guys that are all still fighting, trying to reach the world title. And once I maybe pick a couple of those guys off, and they see that okay, now this guy is everything that they thought he was, and I get put in those positions. I think that the sky is the limit. So
And as mentioned before, you have actually beat Tyson Fury in the amateurs, granted. And I know, obviously you grow as a fighter. You're never the same as you were in the amateurs as in the pros. But I mean, you have had your hand raised in a ring with him. What do you think it's going to take for someone to take away his O?
he's a very elusive guy to be that size. Um, he has a lot of experience. He comes from a fighting family, what I'm saying, with generations and generations, that gypsy family, goes way back, they're born fighters. So, and I think I'm in the same. Me and him actually have the exact same birthday. So we're like, yeah, we have a lot of things in common, and I think his dad was a fighter as well. I just think that would be a beautiful fight for somebody like me, somebody like Usyk. I think he needs a boxer puncher, somebody a little bit smaller than him, um, and somebody a little bit more energetic. So I think that that's where Usyk and somebody like my size will have to capitalize on.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And final question: if Joseph Parker is watching this right now, what would you have to say to him?
Uh, Come on, Us, fight me. You got to fight your friends at some point, man.
Hey Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking this icon right here and hit the bell button below so that you can receive an alert every time we upload a new video.